Hey everybody, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I know it has been a couple weeks since we've been on, but oh my gosh, has there been a lot that has gone on. We have been busy. You agree?
I've been sleeping.
On vacation?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get some hellos in place here real quick. Rick was the first one in. Good evening to you. My friend Nidos is here. Nidos, good to see you. Scanes girl, long time no see. Jane, welcome in. And Squatchy is in the house. The greatest name on the internet.
Bubba left fun.
Yep. And Mr. Kent is in the house again. Long time no see for you as well. Let's see here. Did I get that one already? Nope. Dana Green, welcome in. Starlet Oak, good to see you. Long time no see. Well, if you really want to say long time no see, hello, Gypsy. The king himself, Jeff, Juicy, Hefty, Lefty, Amazon, Mud Dauber, Slick is in the house tonight. The beautiful Louise Wesley is here. Louise says, oh my gosh, y'all, we have indoor plumbing. Thank you, Tag and Mario. July will be 2 years of permitted living. Yeah.
Yep.
We got to spend some time. I've got some really great pictures of our time out at your farm that I'll share a little bit later tonight. You might want to put Jeff to bed by the time I do it because he might not like it, but it will be all good.
Is anybody bleeding in him?
No, nobody died. All right, let me see here. Forgot where I was at. Let's see here. Stan Guthrie, welcome in. Good to see you. Jules, long time no see. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Kent says, nice 2 segments tag has released on Joel at Jackson Heights. Yeah, I released the video of him speaking to the kids. I also released the video of him meeting with the administrators. And to me, that was a great meeting. I've still got all the footage of him touring the properties and the bunker. The school happens to sit on top of an Atlas bunker. I'll show you some pictures, but so he got to do that too. But I just got so much, and then the community event. I haven't even started on the footage of all of that, and there's a lot there too. Just him speaking with the community. He spent an hour and 20 minutes just taking questions from other homesteaders and having just a big roundtable talk, which obviously was filmed, but I just haven't gotten to it. But I will.
Right.
I will. Hey, the famous Life with Mike and Jen are in the house. How are you? I'm glad you guys made it home safe. I can't, thank you guys enough. It was a good experience for sure. My buddy Mo, engineer, is in the house. What's up, man? How are you? I was thinking about you today with the storms in Missouri, and I was going to send you a message, but then I thought, you know what? I might as well do my research first, and I picked it up and it went anywhere near you. So, but I did think about you. Hey, Sharpshooter, how are you? Hey, by the way, Sharpshooter, I can't say that. I'll make a connection I can't make. Never mind.
Yep.
Never mind. That. No live is complete without a
Pack Rat.
Good to see you, Pack Rat. Redneck, good to see you. Aljo. Let's see here. Easy. How are you? Welcome in. Eagle Lover, Texas. Good to see you. Helen, welcome in. Let's see. Oh, of course, got to have the Terminator.
Hello.
Happy Friday, Terminator. Gregory Kissel, good to see you. Keep it trucking on. Let's see here. Nito says, we scored a brand new hoop house 16 by 60 for $1,500 less than purchasing from Farmer's Friend. We pick it up tomorrow. Woohoo. Boy, isn't that cool? Super, super cool. I think I got everybody. Yeah, all right. I am, at least for the moment, I am caught up. So, you glad it's all over?
It's quiet again. It's so quiet, I forgot to feed you dinner.
Yeah, that was funny. Last night, me and B, I had just gotten out of the shower, and I was walking up the stairs to, go to my bedroom like I always do, and B says, "Hey, we didn't eat today." I'm like, no, we didn't eat today. Said, but we can do it tomorrow, right?
Yes. I was like, no, come here, I'll feed you something. I got chips. Jen left some chips here that are fantastic.
Hey, Hilltop Home Place is in the house. Good to see you. Sharpshooter says, putting some plants in the dirt. What a blessing. Yep, we're going to talk a bunch about that as well.
Little jealous.
Yep, RN, welcome in. Well, guys, I thought we'd start the live tonight with me telling you, guys know, like, I like to bust B's chops because it's just fun for me. She had a funny one the other day I thought I'd share you guys with a couple days ago.
Oh, come on now.
No, it was good. So her and I were getting out of the shower, and she had made the comment that her towel was still damp from the night before because where we live, it's a lot of humidity. So anyway, we're like, you know,
Oh,
they
that
don't
hurts.
they don't dry great in the bathroom, and
They
so
don't.
and so B
There is like no circulation in there.
yeah. So B makes the comment that she should really just take them out and put them on the clothesline.
I should hang them up.
Yeah, and let them dry. And then
Yeah.
and then she says some of the smartest stuff I've ever heard. Just absolutely brilliance to a whole new level. She says, and I quote, "I wonder if I should take them out and hang them before or after the shower."
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, baby.
Yeah. Well, so I've tried that, and then I forget that they're out there.
Wait, you tried it
and then-
before or after the shower? Which
No.
one did you try?
I've tried before,
Mm.
and then you take a shower because it's wet. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go throw this out, you know, like in the morning. I go in there, I go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, my towel's so wet. I'm gonna just throw it outside over the line.
No, you-
And it's like 89 degrees in there at that time. I'm like, it's gonna dry, so I'll put it out there. And then I go do what I'm doing, and then I come back in the evening to take a shower, and it's in the greenhouse where I left it. So you gotta get a new towel, or run outside and get your towel, which doesn't make any sense. Just get a new towel.
Hey,
So it didn't really work like that.
Jimmy Joe, welcome in. Mary Michelle, welcome in. That it was just funny to me. You know, I mean, if right before you take a shower, if you go out and hang up the towels,
Not right before.
you said before or after the shower. Those were your words.
Yeah.
Yeah, after would
What
work
I
much
was
better.
what I was thinking was if I should take the shower because I shower at nighttime, so take the shower and then get dressed and then go and hang it up. It's usually dark.
Yeah, Terminator wants to know if sorry, I got Nito said, I remember having that problem when I lived in Florida. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Dana Green said blonde in disguise.
Mm.
Yeah. Terminator wants to know, B, is that a suntan or a sunburn on your shoulders?
I think I got a little pink,
Mm.
a little pinker than I wanted.
What in the world would cause that? You've been on the beach, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Nice land.
been on the beach. Tina, welcome in.
Laying poolside.
Yeah. Streaking through the quad or greenhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a good time and a lot of fun. And I love you, babe. But those things crack me up, man. Just so you know, putting them out before won't do you very much good.
If I do it in the morning, is what I was thinking.
You mean like way before?
Way before.
Okay. Well, you didn't say that.
Well, no, but because I wasn't giving you detail. You don't like detail.
So did she climb out of it, guys? I don't know.
Come on now.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so as you guys know, we've had a lot going on over these last couple weeks. I'm going to share a bunch of it with you guys tonight. And I got quite a few emails that came in during the week that just asked me, hey, Tag and B, how you guys doing? How did the weekend go? Or how did the week go? Because, there's a lot going on. And I found a picture that describes the whole process better than any picture that I could think of. And I thought I would share it with you guys tonight. And I have sent this to my buddies in all over different parts of the country who asked me how the weekend went. So I just thought I would share it. And here it is. This is the most magical picture in the world. This young man fell asleep
In a cubby.
in the cubby of a cabinet in the island of the community building.
And this is like this. How big is that little triangle?
It's little.
It's like
It's little. And this picture screams to me, I got nothing left to give. Like I have given it all. And I think the bonus of it, and for me, the thing that makes me laugh and smile the whole much is, first of all, this is kids being kids, right? The dirt on his cheek, it's all kids being kids, but the picture would not be complete if his shoes were on the right foot.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that the greatest picture ever?
Yes.
Like to me, this is a picture that will live in the community forever. And I'm going to do everything that I can to preserve it. We'll put it on the TVs or something, but this, I really, really, really love this picture. Squatchy says he probably was exhausted with all the adults around. Yeah. Yep. Life Micah Jen said they played so hard. They did. Sharpshooter says, so tired, totally spent.
Spent.
Hey, Rhonda, welcome in. Yeah, and I think spent's the right word.
Spent. All gone.
Yeah, when we got done, after there was a couple days there right in a row, specifically the very day after, I didn't have anything left either. I was whooped.
Yeah.
But after a couple days, you kind of begin to, could gain it back. But it's just, even for me, it's been a little hard getting back into the routine, because we spent, a fair amount of time.
Just
Skates
hustling.
Girl says, what's funny is that he actually has shoes on. Well, yeah, knowing this young man, that is absolutely true. Absolutely true. I love this little guy. I've known him his whole life, and it's going to be amazing to watch him grow into a great man. But I just absolutely loved the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Here, Nito says, my youngest son was that way. He would find a spot and pass out. Yep. RN says, B, did you know apple cider vinegar works wonders on sunburns? It takes the heat out of the skin.
No, you know what? It's only been recently since I've been burning.
Mm-hmm.
I have not usually get burned.
Yeah.
But here recently, it's like, and it's not painful, unless you touch it.
Yeah, lavender works really good for sunburns too, as does aloe.
I do have that lavender spray.
Mm-hmm.
I should just, it's a soothing lavender spray. I should just put that on.
Yeah. So
this is just new right today. I've been out in the sun all day today. So I will shower and I will tend to it. I actually didn't know I was pink until right now looking.
Yeah. Jesus, welcome in as well. So I'm going to go through the whole process we went through, and I hope you guys enjoyed the journey. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do it again, which we'll talk about that as well. So our whole event started out with a lot of prep, and most of that prep was done by a lot of the ladies and a few of the guys, but mostly the ladies inside the community. And you can see a couple of them there. One's cleaning broccoli, and one, what was she putting in the jar? Thyme.
There was the time was so tedious. It was like somebody would do it for a while, and then it was like, all right, gotta go. And then somebody else would do it for a while, and then it was put aside. And then somebody else would do it for a while, and then it was put aside. I think it was like 4 people worked on the time, but we had to have 3 cups of time. So there was, and actually one of the community members was able to donate all of the time from her garden. Mm-hmm. She was able just to go out there and cut it and bring it to us, and we were able to put it in the farm to table meal.
Yeah, and it was complete farm to table. I was not surprised. I was impressed with the lengths you guys went to.
It was, it was fun. I loved it.
Yeah.
I love in this picture that Mario's in the back. He's in the window washing the window. That?
Oh, well-trained man.
Wow, look at that guy.
Someone's got him trained, huh? You gotta love that.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them what's in the next picture?
This is our wonderful bread maker. She bakes our bread for the weeks. She's baking 100 rolls to white. She did all-purpose flour in some of them, and then she did hard red winter wheat in the other half. And which one did you have? One of each?
I had all of them. Yeah.
Which did you prefer?
The white.
I like the red better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has a nutty flavor. I like the nutty flavor.
Do you? You know what I love about this picture so much?
What?
This big, beautiful kitchen, everything's working, and there's a tape measure.
There is a tape measure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that she's able to just sit there and do all that right there. She's got all of she's able to roll it out. She's able to, she has enough room for 100 rolls. I mean, that's a lot of batches of things rising, and then things, because you have to have this separated from that. And I was watching her different steps, and she has a lot of steps to do that. So, and she has kids. So she's to multitasking, right? And then she's helping with other things, because as these yeast was rising. Yeah. Did I get that right? Then she has time to do, the flour and the dry ingredients. And then she'd be like, oh, what do you need? Tend to the child. Oh, tend to this child, tend to that woman, tend to that woman, helping everywhere. Like we were going in in just, I have a minute, where am I needed? And then, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then, oh, I'm doing potatoes. Somebody come and help me over here. And it's like, oh, I'll come and help you over there, and then so-and-so goes back to the bathroom. And then it's like, okay, you get your job back. I'm going to go over here. So it was like constant, like rotating, getting things done.
Yeah. Jen says he's got his standards on floors and windows. I don't quite measure up, so he's the guy.
Well, keep that in mind.
Yeah. I doubt he's listening right now, or he'd be pumping up his chest. Gaines Girl says, I loved eating bread. It was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And real life trad wife who's
you
can see making the bread right there says, yep, the yeast.
The yeast.
Yeah. So that was all pretty cool. What's going on here, babe?
These are the potatoes. These are the never ending potatoes. Actually, she took her like 20 minutes to cut up 60 potatoes, and then it's taken us like 6 years to eat them. No. There was at one point in time, Jess was in the kitchen and she goes, why aren't we going through potatoes? Why aren't we going through potatoes? And I'm just sitting here peeling pork apart, like, oh, that's a big chunk of fat. Throw that away. Gross. As they were cooking, they cooked it and it was big chunks. And so I was kind of pulling it apart more so that it wasn't like, here's your hunk. So we had in our meal prepping planning thought that we would use a half a pound of potatoes per person. And that's what we were going to do. And then we even did the dish and like used our spoon. We had like a 6-ounce spoon and we scooped it out and weighed it. Oh, shoot. It was like perfect. And she's like, yeah, okay, we'll just do that. And I'm like, sounds good. And then the guys get behind the counter because the guys were going to serve the food from the, what do you call those? Hot tables into the plates. And so Jess is over there going, why aren't we going through potatoes? Like we're on our first pan. Like what's going on? And so she goes over there. Like the second time she said it, she goes over there and she goes, oh my gosh. Did a tablespoon, like serving size. And she's like, give them more. But that actually by the time those ones came out of the oven, they were like the first ones that came out of the oven. We had oven issues, so
I got upset on that.
The first potatoes that came out of the oven, she put on top, and she had to blowtorch like melt the cheese is all bubbly and crispy and stuff on the top. Well, that second batch, because nobody was eating them, where she's like, why aren't they eating them? Why aren't they eating it? Like, why aren't we going through them? Why aren't we going through them? We should be going on pan 3. Like, come on. So when when they finally did get through the first pan, she went to get one out of the oven, and it was already brown and sizzling and gooey. And so she pulled that out and stuck that out there. And I was like, oh, those were the ones I want. So like pan 2 was better. Pan 3 was better. In my opinion. But we ended up with like 3 full pans, I think, or no, maybe 2 full pans and a half a pan of potatoes left. So we took them and we took full pans and cut them in half and put that half into a half. And then froze them.
You put that half into a half, really? You don't say.
We put that half into a half pan instead of the whole pan. So we broke them down basically.
Is that what they call them? Is half pans and whole pans?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh my gosh. It was fun though, watching it all go down. It was a lot of like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? It was a lot of shuffling, a lot of like juggling, a lot of just we're right on top of that, Rose.
Yep. Dana, welcome in, by the way. Juby Joe says that she was on 2 lives and just paused the other. Well, thank you for, hanging out with us. And she also says beautiful kitchen. Yeah, it was a lot of work, but I'm glad it's there.
Yep. Yeah. So there were
Jen
potatoes.
Breakfast casserole is in the menu
with those eggs.
with all those eggs too.
Yeah. So now we have potatoes and eggs. Potatoes and eggs. That's a meal.
Now I understand. Yep, now I understand. What are you doing there?
Oh, this is this Nikki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Command Ann.
She was
Command Ann.
She was chopping them lemons like nothing. She was making lemonade, freshly squeezed lemonade.
Yes.
With no machines, just her hands.
I bet her hands were sore by the end of the day.
Probably because she had to go back to the store to get more lemons, or somebody went to the store to get more lemons because
We do call her Command Ann.
we ended up making 5 gallons of freshly squeezed lemons. And I was like, why can't we just use this bottle of lemon juice? It says 100% lemon juice. And they were like,
What'd you talk about, Willis?
what are you talking about?
Mhm.
We're not using that. Do you know what's in that? I'm like, looks like lemons. Just like has an acidy or a metallic-y taste.
Yeah, Skane's girl said that was hands down the best lemonade I
It-
ever had.
It sure was.
Mm.
That I would actually drink, and I don't usually drink lemonade.
Leela says, I'm so glad it went well. Sounds like everyone had a good time. Wish we could have been there. Wish we lived closer. Yeah, well, there's a lot of them coming too. And, we obviously would welcome it. And Jen says, I think she's going to be the official lemonade maker. Mario brought 4 more large bags. It was delicious. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Juby Joe says, no bottled lemon.
No bottled lemon. No
Yeah.
bottled lemon.
So about
Oh, that
the
was
time
delicious.
you've finished your final pan, you know how to do potatoes to perfection. That's most of my projects too.
Yeah.
That's how it
Yeah.
always
We were
works.
getting better and better at it. That's for sure.
Yeah, we had gotten several comments from people about how they were impressed at how smooth the kitchen was ran, the meal was created. 'Cause there's a lot of people, you guys, while all this is going on,
Oh, it was.
there's 96 people running around.
And I want to thank every one of you
Yeah,
for all of your hard work.
yeah, because there was a lot.
We did notice.
Yeah. So it was going on again all at one.
Yes,
time.
and that's what I'm saying. It was like a shuffling around. It was constant moving
Mhm.
around. It was, so and so had to go run an errand, and so somebody else got right in and started making that lemonade, and then so and so had to do something else, and then I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing? Can you come and help so and so?" And they were like, "I'm on it." So everybody was willing to. Everybody that was standing around there, it was like, I'm here to help, and I will do whatever you ask of me. And they did.
Jen says we never crashed into each other. It was quite amazing.
Yeah, the kitchen was plenty big.
Hey, I want to welcome in American Roots Farm. How are you? And talk about another big help, right?
Yes.
Juby,
Yeah.
Juby Joe says, what? 96 people? Yeah, there were 96 people who were there.
Yeah.
So they hand squeezed lemon, they hand cut potatoes, they farmed a table made from the butter to the dressing, all of it, to feed those 96 people, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's a certain dance one gets into when you have that many bodies in a kitchen. Would you call that a dance?
It was a lot of, like shuffling. Yeah, that's a lot of.
Skane says, had I known, I'd have brought my electric juicer. Saves the hands with all the squeezing. Yeah, but it is command hand, so just saying,
But it would have been cool to
Yeah.
have an electric juicer if we're going to do something like that.
Sharpshooter says it was an amazing experience. Yeah, super, super cool. Yeah, and Juby Joe says unbelievable. Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was a lot of work, but it's just the beginning of the week. So a lot has happened even since this moment right here. What you got going on there, babe?
Well, so this is first one is Lisa. This is Silver Lining.
Mhm.
She is.
See the potatoes on the table back there.
Yeah, and then you see broccoli like getting dropped into a tub, and you see a homemade ice cream thing right behind her, my ice cream maker right behind her. I mean, we got a lot going on.
Yeah, they've
been
homemade
making ice cream for days.
Yeah, homemade cherry, homemade strawberry, homemade vanilla, and homemade
Bees nuts.
what's bees?
That's what it was because I wanted nuts.
Oh,
So they
made
took-
pecan like
They took them and
butter
like
pecan.
yeah. So Jet
Yeah.
it's like 5 a.m. She's like, I'm gonna make tag his cinnamon rolls because it's his birthday. And
Yeah.
so she got up early, went to the community building and made dough all before she had to go to work because she had to work that day. So she got up, came to the community building, made the dough for the cinnamon rolls because it had to sit there and raise so that so that it could be like worked or whatever. I don't know, dough. But anyway, so she was like, "Oh, this is proofing. So I'm going to make some nuts." So she took some and she just roasted them plain, and then she took some others and she like put, I don't know, something and something super simple and put them on a plate and like, oh, and sugar, yes, of course, sugar, and stuck them in the pan and cooked them, and then they were like candy. They were like candy nuts. So she gave those to Jen, who then made candy nuts ice cream with caramel, with vanilla ice cream, which is like my favorite.
Yeah, American Root said she candied them. Jen says bees nuts, caramel, and candied pecans.
Candied.
Yeah. White egg whites and sugar.
Yes, super simple.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Yeah. What was funny about when, I don't know if you know this, but the cinnamon roll recipe, she made enough. She made a double batch for double the cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, there should have been 2 pans, and she left us with her dough.
Yeah.
Is what happened. So she had to go to work, and she was like, "All right, guys, super simple here. Let it raise, roll it out, add and she even had the mixture made and was like, oh, it was cellophane over it. Was like this, put this on it. Like you cannot, guys, you cannot mess this up, okay? Roll it out, put this on it, roll it up, cut it, put it on the pan, let it proof, then we can bake it. I don't think these things started at like 6 or 5 or something in the morning.
Yeah, I have now eaten all of them, but they were big.
They were massive.
Well, it's because they were double the dough.
Yes.
Right? So they were like
they were
cinnamon roll dumpling.
They were the size of a small plate.
Yeah, RN says, B, what a great idea. B's Kitchen Restaurant. Yeah, Jimmy Joe says, wait, what? I'll be out for about 72 hours on cinnamon rolls. Yeah, Jen says she tried to lay it all out so we didn't have much to mess up, thankfully. And yet you managed to anyway.
Well, she didn't say
Oh.
this should be two batches or whatever. Like we were just like, yeah, this looks good. Mm-hmm. Actually, the stove it was chilly in there, and I think it just didn't raise in time. It didn't raise right. Mm-hmm. And so we had to, like, when we finally got there after the school, we turned the pilot lights on the stove, which heats the place up pretty warm. The stovetop gets pretty warm, or the griddle. I mean, the griddle top.
I would have never guessed that.
When you just light the pilot lights. Mm-hmm. You're not even turning it on, and you're just lighting the pilot light, and it gets hot. Yeah. So don't stick like a towel or something on there.
You know what's crazy is we're this far and we haven't even started.
No.
You know? No. So the night before, so on Wednesday, Joel came over and hung out that night, and he taste tested. Apparently he's a big ice cream fan. So he taste tested all the ice creams, and we got to hang out a little bit, which was super, super, super cool. And I got to love the Freeman hoodie serving Mr. Joe Salatin, the lunatic farmer, some homemade ice cream.
Yep. In our kitchen. Yep,
in our kitchen, which was super, super cool. Trad Wife says, I followed the instructions exactly. There were no notes on how big.
That's true. There were no notes on how big they should be.
Yeah, Trad Wife, they were delicious. I literally ate every single one. Because there was another debacle later, which was they forgot to serve them. So at the end of the day, the whole pan came to me.
Yes.
And I literally ate every single one.
Well, so I think Jen ate one, or Mike ate one. Somebody ate one. Yeah, because they were like, what is it? There was a bowl sitting on the counter, and they were like, what is this? Mm-hmm. And they popped it open, and they were like, oh, we did not know these were here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I promise you, everybody, we made light work of the cinnamon rolls. And
to get them gone.
It feels like years since I've had any.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Let's see here. Jen says, what? Those were for sharing? Oops. No, it was great.
Well, there wasn't 97 of them, so we
No.
couldn't really pull them out and give them to everybody.
Yeah.
But they were supposed to have been for before the dinner.
Pack Rat says finally Tag gets his just desserts. Well, this was a long time ago, Pack Rat. Just so you know.
This
And
was,
I
was
don't
3 days ago.
I
Jack, right?
don't live in the past.
It was a long time
We
ago.
have to make the best of today. We can't spend any time in our past.
That's
we are
true.
not prisoners to our past. We are products of it, and we have to go on, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Those are all true statements.
Okay.
But let's not forget.
Jimmy Joe says, "I'm so impressed with your work, Tag and B. It's truly amazing." It was a good trip, and it was a good thing. But man, I'm going to tell you, there was a lot of hands that made it work.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah.
from putting up stuff in a kids area, just a few days before this event, B says to me, "Hey, can you make a playground real quick?"
It would be so easy.
It'd be so easy.
You just have lawns and stuff for them to like walk on.
There was dirt work that was done. There was rocks that was moved. There was just so much, all the cooking and cleaning, and
Yep.
there was just so much that went into all of it.
Yep. People donating stuff. People, us borrowing stuff. We've got a refrigerator borrowed. We're borrowing a refrigerator, so that so helped because the potatoes. Let me tell you, we ended up buying. I'm not like 20 containers of heavy whipping cream. When it was all said and done with the ice cream and the potatoes and the coffee, people for coffee creamer, and then we have several in the freezer because we had some left over, and it was like, well, what can I do with this? And she was like, well, just freeze it, like just hold. And she's like, yeah, just throw it in the freezer. I'm like, done.
Packrat says, "But it's what have you done for me lately?" Which I agree.
Always is.
Tradwife says, "I'm trying to learn how to make sourdough cinnamon rolls with the discarded Carl."
Yes.
Carl, I hope you're watching.
Yes. That's lovely. I
Yep.
would be so interested in that.
Skanes Girl says, "I volunteer to test them." Jen says, "I love the quote, 'The past is a book you read, not live in.'" Yep. Guys, I'm going to tell you, the way you view something is your reality. And I've told people a million times that reality is like the biggest made up word ever because everyone lives a different one. Even two people standing next to each other view the fence
Oh,
post from a different side.
absolutely. It's broken.
Right.
No, it's not.
You get to choose every single day how you live, and you get to choose the story you make up between your ears. And this is a great message, Jim. Let's see what else we got. Then we went to school. So the next morning we went and got Joel, and we took him to Jackson Heights High School, where he went on to talk for a little over an hour about the food. The lunch is what's served here, and it was actually so neat. He went, we actually had one of our community members, but go get some of the things they serve at breakfast at the school, and he on stage read off the ingredients. Kind of calling them out just a little bit. And, went on to talk about, cancer rates and diabetes rates, and talk about how we're so detached from our food. And he engaged with the students. And I was actually fairly surprised at how many of the students were engaged. And I was watching them the whole time just to see, were they listening? Were they fiddle farting? Were they playing on their phone? Whatever it was. And there were some doing all of those things, but there was a lot that was really, really engaged. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he asked a few questions and they were hollering out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What'd you take from all that? You were there.
Yeah.
You were sitting in the front row.
No, I agree. No, I was in the second.
Second row?
Yeah. I didn't want to seem eager. Second row.
You're such a dork. But you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I did. And I agree. I mean, it makes sense but I could see the pushback too, because, for the people doing the work, it's a whole lot easier to take those wrappers and, put them in the pan and pop them in the oven, heat them up, and then put them in a warmer and take them to the school. And that's what they're eating.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
instead of having to go get 100 pounds of flour and then,
Yep.
milk and cream and butter and baking soda and all of these ingredients.
Yep.
And then you want me to mix them together.
Yeah, but baby,
put them in a pan.
Babe, the problem is at the end of the day, cheap food isn't cheap.
No, it isn't.
It costs.
It ruins your brain. It ruins your health. It ruins your attitude.
Yeah, it's also paid for some by taxpayers, right? It also degrades our land. It also makes small farms disappear.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It increases and it keeps the pharmaceutical industries in business. It allows you spend your health insurance premiums on it, right? It lowers our productivity. It lowers our inventiveness, right? Innovation suffers. I mean, cheap food is not cheap. It's just cheaper today,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
right? But it is a long ways from being cheap. After Joel spoke, oh, by the way, I think I did a video on that. So all of Joel's speech, I released the video a couple days ago when he was at the school. Anyway, after that, Joel jumped in the UTV with some of our community members, some of the administrators, school board, kids, etc. And they went and drove around the property. So this school sits on 77 acres of land. And, the big question of the event was, could we grow our own food? And could we grow enough food to supply both
cool.
lunches and breakfast for the school. And I'm actually going to show you guys some numbers here in a little bit of actually what that looked like. But I did not join them on the tour of the land. I had another job that was given to me, so I went and did that. But from what I understand, it went well. I've got all the footage for it, and I will at some point release a video of the actual tour of the land.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Let's see here. Jen says costs significantly more in terms of your health and cost for sick care.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it costs pretty much in every aspect of our life. I could make the argument that cheap food hurts your ability to be a great husband. And it hurts your ability to be a great friend or a great father or a great wife, right? Because if you're feeding your body the things that your body needs, you'll have less of those issues, right? So I hope so. Packrat says, I hope they pursue that, an incredibly worthwhile goal at the school. It is, and we are going to swing. I can't make any promises other than to say, I promise you this, if we don't swing, we'll get nowhere. Right?
Right. That's for sure.
I mean, so, I hope they do as well. After we got done touring the land, we all took a tour of the nuclear silo. So this school's built on top of a nuclear bunker. In this picture, you're walking down into the bunker. There's basically a big steel culvert that's buried underground, and you're walking down underground, and it's stars and stripes the whole way. As you walk down in there. Back during
What's that?
That's an air vent that pumps air down in there. Back during the Cuban Missile Crisis, this actual nuclear silo was put on red alert, and they had missiles ready to launch from this. And so they told a lot of interesting stories about it, how back in the day when it was used, it was, totally secret, and it was disguised to look like a farm. Where the football field is today was the air landing strip in case they had to bring in a general or, something like that. But they gave a big, long history about it and how it all worked. And Joel got to, walk down it and, tour all of it with us, which I thought was pretty cool. Dana Grade says maybe some parents will volunteer to help with food production.
We've talked to a few parents who are willing to volunteer in different ways.
Yeah. But this was neat. You guys can see Joel there in front of me. He's walking with Vern, which is the guy actually giving him the tour and telling him about the history.
So you were there going down there with him?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. We got to walk all around it, and there was a sign that they painted over on the wall. He was telling me that when they first got it, there was a big sign on the wall that said, "Please don't smoke in your bed."
Wow.
Which I think is just absolutely great. So anyway, that was really pretty cool. Again, I have the footage of that. It may or may not make a video. I don't know. We'll just see kind of how I go. I've got so many hours of footage I'm trying to get through right now. But anyway, we'll just have to see how, kind of how that goes. Yeah, Packrat says, looks like an old Atlas missile silo. It is. It is the coffin type, which is what Packrat's talking about, versus the tube in the ground that they launched straight out of. The coffin type that the missile laid down, and then they stood the missile up and launched it. And that's what this particular bunker.
So does the top still lift off?
No, it's all concreted over, and actually the school sits on top of it now.
Oh, okay.
Right, so there's nothing to take off.
Okay.
Right, they still hold archery classes down there inside the bunker, and I think he said up until 1999 the math department was down there.
That's so weird.
Yeah. But because of the water tables, they have a hard time keeping it all the time dry. So they decided not to use that anymore. But I think that's incredibly neat. I think. We get done with touring the silo, and this was exciting to me. We went and all had lunch, and we sat down and actually discussed the logistics of what would it take for a school to feed itself. And, how could we turn that process into curriculum? Just got to have a big, long debate. Hold on a second. America Root says, and remember that allowed them to go undetected by a satellite. Yeah. They had devices in there, recirclers and stuff that would stop the heat signatures. And that was all kind of part of the tour. But this was to me, was an absolute great event. And I want to share with you guys here real quick. Let's get rid of this one. And sorry, guys, I got to pull up a whole new screen here. But all right. Windows right there. Okay. So I'm going to go through this with you guys. So Joel sat down and he talked to them about what would it actually take. And so the assumptions were 1,500 meals per day for 5 days per week, 750 breakfasts and 750 lunches, which is 34 weeks per year, a total of 170 days, all servings figured at a quarter pound. Joel went on to say that eggs, that they would need 1,080 laying hens requiring 5 to 6 acres in one Millennium feather net. Assume 50% lay rate, which is 1 egg per child per day, 540 eggs per day in production. Let's see here. During the summer, freeze, dry, sell, etc. Winter accommodations would be a 30-foot by 120-foot hoop house that could be purchased at Steppies in Kansas City. That's where they get theirs. Laying hens would eat all of the kitchen scraps. So everything coming out of the kitchen would become
what a great idea.
Chicken food. Yeah. In the spring, summer, and fall, the hoop house then would grow vegetables. So you're storing the chickens in the hoop house in the winter, and you're putting them out on pasture in the spring, summer, and fall. And then what they've left in the greenhouse is what you're growing your vegetables out of. Got it?
Yes.
He went on to broilers. He would need, 6,375 total birds, averaging 4.5 pound carcass with 3 pounds of edible meat per bird. Serving chicken 3 times per week, which would be 20. We need 24 total 10-foot by 12-foot shelters, 8 total batches of 800 chickens raised over the course of a 6-month growing season. The brooder requirement would be a 12 by 20, pasture requirement 11 acres. Then he went on to talk about beef. If you wanted to raise beef, you need 12,750 pounds of ground beef, yield of 300 pounds per carcass. He would procure cull cows and keep them for 4 months to detox and fatten on grass. 4 months of the winter, they would have no cows, so there would be no hay to purchase and no winter feeding. They would serve beef 2 meals per week. Pasture requirement, 30 acres. He went on to talk about pork, 31,875 pounds of bacon and sausage. Procure weaned piglets, 8 to 10 weeks old, 150 pounds of edible yield per carcass. He would then run 2 cycles per year, 6 months per cycle of 106, so a total of 212. 1 hoop house, 30 foot by 120 for housing on deep bedding. Potatoes, they could grow 31,875 pounds, a yield of 3 pounds per plant. They would plant those plants 12 inches on center. Land required would be a quarter acre. Tomatoes, they would need 31,875 pounds, a yield of 6 pounds per plant, plants at 2-foot centers, land required a quarter acre. They could grow 31,875 pounds of apples, yield of 10 bushel per tree. We would plant these trees on 400 square foot centers per tree. Land required 2/3 of an acre. Trees would be planted along the roads and the fields and the boundary edges just to not take up space.
Nice.
He went on to say that 1 full-time person could easily do all this farm work with the help during the slaughter of harvest. On a daily production maintenance basis, 1 person could easily keep everything running, and that's if you don't make it curriculum. But I think a big part of this would be to make it curriculum, right? And I think the better we did with that, right, I think the better that whole process would go, and it would lower their costs. Because just like their kitchen scraps, by feeding their kitchen scraps, not only are they not buying feed, they're also not paying for much trash.
Right.
Right. And so you're saving some money, Let's see here. Yeah, Juby Joe says, great photo and mission. Wow. Life Micah Jen said, I thoroughly enjoyed this chat with Joel. it made me realize that it is all scalable to my property to feed us. Yes, it is. Yeah, Juby Joe says amazing breakdown. Squatchy added, super incredible. Yeah, it was really, really neat. I really encourage you guys to go watch the video. I just put it out 2 days ago of the actual meeting with the administrators as this was going on. It was, at least for me, it was powerful. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I didn't say a word, not a single comment. Well, that's not true. Maybe I made a couple, but anyway, I pretty much sat in the back of the room and filmed and watched the whole thing. But it was, yeah, it was really, 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 really cool. Coming out of there, we took a picture, and there's the superintendent, a board member, Joel, a bunch of kids, one of the teachers, were there, and so they even got input from the kids, and I thought that was really neat.
That is cool.
In an effort to try to build it. And what's crazy is this time right here, this is 1 o'clock.
How'd they pick them?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the process was. I'm not sure. Yeah, Dana Green said it was powerful. I watched it all. Good for you. I actually thought it was too. I'm going to go back and watch it again a couple times to see what, kind of what I get out of it. I think we're losing our light, Pumpkin. We're losing our light. I don't know if that's going to help or not. That's probably a question. Can I turn the fan on? Maybe that'll help a little. Maybe. Anyway, let's see here. Yeah, Jen says I was completely captivated watching the video. Also, wiener pigs for the win. Have you watched the video yet?
No.
Okay, watch it. You'll get it.
Well, I know what that is.
Yeah, but
so.
you'll get it. Watch the video and you'll get it.
Okay.
You'll get it to an additional level than what you get now.
Perfect.
Okay. Let's see here. Where am I at? Right there. Juby Joe says, I did this sort of in my house, which is why I can hardly walk through it minus the livestock. Yeah, I think it's great. And I think we should absolutely be growing our food again. I think at the end of the day, if we feed our bodies the right things, we have better results. And this bad food is really, I think, hurting us in a lot of ways. Tamara Smith says she watched it too. Packrat went on to say, we have to see if they will have to battle the lobbyists for the local food service provider for the opportunity for the kids to grow their own food. Yeah, I think the big fight in that will be legislative fight, and who's appointing the inspectors, and how do the inspectors feel, and where do we get the meat processed, and and those kind of things. And so I think there's a big fight going to go on here in order to help grow their food. But it was overall, guys, I want to tell you, it was an absolutely amazing experience to go through that, to get the blueprint, and that could be duplicated over and over and over again. Let's see here. Dana Green says, I worked in the school kitchen 1 year. It's a jungle. Yeah. American Root says she thinks they're honor students. Okay, cool. Crunchy Mama said, I just got in. Well, welcome in, Crunchy Mamas. Wish I could have been up there with you guys last week. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. If you go back in the live Crunchy Mama Farms, I actually took Joel's list of exactly the count of animals it would take and all of that. And I released a video earlier this week of him meeting with the administrators and a video of him speaking on stage at the school. But it was really, really cool. Juby Joe says simple math. Yep, it was. So anyway, we got to the school. We did all of this, and then we went back to the community building. I wanted to start with this picture because you guys know, just right before the live, right before the Joel event at the school, we were trying to get ready. We were also scrambling to get us a smoker built to smoke all the food. And so we got it built 80-90%. I still got a lot of caps to put on and stuff like that. We got the smoker itself done, and boy, did we cook the food.
And that picture back there, did you see that? There's my cows.
There's your cows.
There's my 3 cows.
Yeah, not for long. So here's some of the troops, sitting there cooking, and that was a lot of fun. These guys spent from early wee morning hours all day in front of that heat, making sure we could feed 100 people.
What are those cardboard boxes for?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Well, it looks like if you look at this box, you look really close, that says apple right there. So probably some smoking wood that he bought to throw in the smoker would be my guess.
Oh.
Again, a little bit of a guess,
Something
right?
I don't know about.
Right. Let's see here. Crunchy Mama says at American Roots Farm, give me a call. I want to talk with you about how you were implementing things at the school. Yeah, she'd be a good one to talk to too. Let's see here. Helen says, who's going to bake the bread? And for winter, the soups, navy beans, lentils, split peas, et cetera, et cetera. Somebody's gonna, right? but I'm with Squatchy. Smoked meats. Yep.
It was delicious.
Yeah. If you guys look in the chat, there's a couple links in there. Those are to the 2 Joel videos that I put out this week. But the meat, oh, it was good. So let's talk about the meat real quick. So they smoked a.
Wow, I didn't see it like that.
Yeah. Yep. They smoked a pig, a lamb, right?
Yeah, that's what was smoked.
And then in the kitchen we cooked turkeys.
Yes.
Right.
2
That was it,
turkeys.
right? It was turkeys, lamb, and that's right. Yeah. So that's what we had, and so they were.
And then we had different barbecue sauces for the meats.
Yes, also homemade, right?
Homemade. Yes.
Which were really cool. Yeah, this is a good picture.
It is busy in there.
Well,
Look, everybody's standing around.
Well,
doing nothing.
no, that's not true. If you look all the way in the
in
corner,
the back, there's
there-
one
Yeah.
person.
there's the trad
There's
wife,
Trad.
and she's actually making bacon bits right there
Yes,
for the salads. Right?
that is correct.
Do I see that correctly?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's got a giant pan and she's frying
Yeah.
it up.
But about now, this time of day, as we're getting back, it's about 2:00, and there's getting to be more and more people. About right here, there's probably 40 or 50 people here, but it will grow again to 96 before it's over.
Soon.
Yep. Nito said, watched both. They were very,
Informative.
I got it. Oops, come on. Informative. We got that. See that, Nitos? Hey, Zeg, what's going on? Yeah. Juby Joe says the kitchen is so clean. Well, one of the great things about our community, Juby Joe, is it has a whole bunch of dictators in it who like things a particular way.
Well, I mean, we're going to eat out of it. We should probably have it clean.
No. Packrat says 100 years ago, schools had extensive kitchens, baked their own bread. My mother's high school had rows of gas ovens for their home ec department
Yeah.
in 1938.
Yes.
Yep.
What happened? Why did they change that?
Because money. Because they could make it cheaper somewhere else.
Mm.
And then that money could go on to, get me all ranting here, into the public education system that pays the administrators big money and the teachers nothing. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. They went on to do those types
I
of
don't know
things.
how much they make.
Yeah, well, I think if I remember right, the average pay in the federal Department of Education was like $155,000 a year is the average pay. Now, if you look at what a teacher actually makes, I know like around here, it ain't anywhere near that. So that means the rest of that money is all, top fee. But yeah, let me see here. Bailey's dad. Must have missed something.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh, Zeg.
Oh, Zeg. Oh, got with Zeg. Okay, understood. Nito says, and less labor at the school. Yep, Zeg says, yes, that's true. I'm her driver and caretaker. Okay. Got it. Okay. What's going on here?
I have a baby. I was gifted a baby to hold.
Yeah. No, it's not ours. And no, you can't keep it.
I would though.
I know you would.
Yeah. I don't think she was crying yet.
Yeah. Well, too much time with you, she'd certainly be crying.
Yeah. Or maybe she was, and that's why Silver Line is like, get back. Quit crying. Maybe I'm like, I don't know what to do. What did I say? I don't know.
I don't have any idea. It was just a
Who
great.
took that picture?
I thought it was a great picture.
Did you take that picture?
I don't remember, babe. You have any idea how many pictures were taken?
No.
Yeah, many. Yep. Well,
Potatoes.
yeah, but there's more to this picture. Why don't you talk about what's happening over here?
Yes, this is the oven quit working.
Yeah, right?
We have 2 ovens. We had a big oven and a little oven, and the big oven quit working. She went to
And we
like
just
the
had the
high-
stove completely gone over. This is the first event after having it rebuilt,
Yes.
and the oven quits working right in the middle of all of it.
And he had been out 2 times because he came out and he delivered it. And then we had cooked in it, and Jess said, I think that, or Joe maybe said, oh, it was because he was like, he goes, she left a cookie dough, and he said, they've been in there for 18 minutes. And she goes, they can't be in there for 18 minutes because it doesn't take 18 minutes to bake a cookie. And so she goes over there and she's like, well, they're not burnt. She's like, yeah, something's wrong with the oven. And so she'd gotten a thermometer and put that in there. And she's like, yeah, this is like degrees off. And so I called the guy and had him come back, and he calibrated it, and the pilot assembly, while he was there, the worker, the stove guy, plumber, he said the pilot assembly broke off. And so he was like, oh, I had to put that back on. And when we went to light the oven, it would not go. It wouldn't go. And so we had a plumber in house, and he decided to fix it. Actually, Joe said, it's broke. We got one oven. We can work with one oven. And she goes, we cannot work with one oven. And he goes, we can't work with one oven. She's like, no, we can't. So, Mario said, I'll just take it apart and I'll just see what's going on. And the pilot assembly was just laying there. So he had to put it back on, which I am pretty sure that the first plumbers had that problem. So he put it back on. He put it all back together. He lit it, and we used it.
I think there's a lot of interesting things going on in this picture. So one, I have to tell you, it's remarkable that an oven can go down during an event and it's up back and running.
Yes.
In-house,
right there on the spot. I also think it's cool how Tradwife is still cooking bacon bits while they're working on the oven. Yes, she's like, these damn bacon bits.
And I think it's even cooler that Jen is in the background taking a picture of something in the freezer.
No, I don't know if she's taking it. No, that's not her phone. She's got ice cream she's trying to put in.
Oh, is that what that is?
She's got one hand on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
She's not taking a picture of the freezer.
Maybe she was taking a picture of the ice cream or something.
Pretty. No, she's trying because she's making ice cream. So she's trying to play Tetris in there, trying to get one more. And it's liquid when you put it in. So it has to stay flat. So she's like, easy does it, trying to get it in there.
Brett says, I can remember when the school cafeteria was used as a local canning plant during the summer when the school was out.
What a great idea.
Yeah, what a great idea. Yeah, Juby Joe says, be so joyful for you and your hub's dream come true. Much love. I can hear the happiness in your voice.
Yes, it is. It is a great time.
Yeah. Jen says, we just stepped over him. Laugh out loud. I had stuff all over that ice cream in the freezer. I had to stuff all that ice cream in the freezer. Yeah, there was a lot of it.
Yes. There's still some in
the
there.
Damn bacon bits and homemade croutons takes a team. Yes, it does. And it wasn't just even that. I mean, that was a lot, but I'm talking homemade lemonade and homemade blue cheese dressing and homemade ranch dressing.
Oh, that's still down there too.
That's in the fridge. We'll eat all of it.
We should go and do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no sense in letting it go to waste, right?
Yeah.
I love this picture. There's just so much going on at one time.
There you go.
Yep.
There is so much going on at one time.
So,
look at that.
Yep. So I was asked to be one of the servers. And you can see the servers were Joe and Tag and Mario and Sharpshooter and Adam were designated servers. So we stood there on, and I got to quote my wife, on the hot tables.
Hot tables. Water tables.
Yeah.
And look at that tiny little spoon that Mario had. Good grief, with those potatoes. Now we know who it was. There is evidence. Yeah, he just probably grabbed a spoon out of the drawer and none of us obviously gave it to him.
Yeah, Skades Girl said, I had to abandon her so they could work on the stove.
Yep.
Packrat says steam tables.
Steam tables?
I don't think that was, she's talking about the little pot, the little pans that we're serving out of that have the little fire candle looking things underneath them. That's what she's talking about. But I don't think they're called
they could be
a heat table.
Steam tables, he said.
Yeah. Yep. And 100% happy Thursday. I got a picture coming up for that. All right. This is a great picture too. This was just us, I'm just kind of having, fun. And fun's good, right?
Yes.
You like fun?
Yes. And it was delicious too. After everybody went through, we were able to go through and get a plate, and then we got to sit down and eat.
Zeg.
Chafing table.
Oh, Leela.
Thank you.
Chafing dishes. Yep. So happy to be here to share this amazing event. Oh, it was incredible. Met so many new friends. And again, this was just Thursday. And we're going to continue on our little adventure. Yeah, sterno.
Yeah, we're
Nito
still
says
not
sterno. Yeah, the sterno was underneath them, but what are they? Obviously, the chafing trays is what we were looking for, right? And it was Happy Thursday. Right?
Happy Thursday.
This Thursday also happened to be my birthday, and so how cool is it? You get to have Joel come hang out with you on your birthday,
and sing to you.
And so when he started his speech at the school, the first thing he did is get the audience to sing happy birthday to me at the school. So that was
Joel.
By Joel Salatin. Then we get back to the house
and he gets serenaded.
Yeah. And then Jess gets out the guitar and sings me happy birthday as everybody joined in. And look at that beautiful cake.
Yes. It wasn't until we served everybody one whole side of it that we realized that the other whole side was chocolate.
You guys are just bright.
Well, I didn't order. I mean, I kind of ordered it, but kind of not.
Okay,
so I just didn't remember. And then we got through all the white, and then we were like, "Oh, hey, these ones are chocolate."
So
there's been a lot going on.
So you make cinnamon rolls and don't serve them.
Yes.
Right?
Basically.
Okay. You served half the cake before you realized the other one was
chocolate.
And you really wanted to know whether or not to hang a towel before or after the shower.
That was
you were on a roll.
Different.
He is on a roll.
Come on now.
Yeah. Thank you, Helen, for the happy birthday. Thank you, Juby Joe.
Yep. These.
Oh, Carrie Davis, too. I didn't even know was here, but Carrie Davis, welcome in and goodbye. He said, I'll catch you all next week. Granddaughter's graduation. Oh, yeah, that's important. Nitos, thank you for the happy birthday. So this was fun to have him sing it. The cake was super, super cool, and it was cool to be part of that. It was kind of a lot at the moment.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. But, so Gypsy brought this cake. He was like, this thing is like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Because that was a cake on top of a cake.
Yeah.
That hat was a cake.
A cake. Yeah. I know. I ate most of it.
Was it mostly frosting?
No, it was mostly cake. At the end of the day, after it was all done, most everybody was gone.
That was you that hunked in.
I was cleaning the inside of it because I'm not a big frosting guy, but I love cake, and so I was eating it.
But, because that was the white left, the rest of the white cake.
Yeah,
left.
It was so good. Bill and Fallon, welcome in, says on Easter weekend, we would cook 80,000 eggs on a Friday and Saturday for the kids' egg hunt on Sunday. It took us 12 hours to pull it off. Oh my goodness. Well, Bill and Fallon, you absolutely know what we went through then, right? That was a cake? Story. Yeah, that's a cake. It was all cake. It was really good too. Really, really good. Hippocrates says all the cinnamon rolls into that cake.
Yeah.
And how many units of insulin? But there was almost 100 people there. There was no insulin issues, I can assure you. And I'm 100% out of cake. I'm 100% out of cinnamon rolls.
And what's your insulin level?
It's needing sugar. Yeah. All right. Should we keep it trucking?
Sure.
All right. I don't know if I showed.
This turned out beautiful.
Yeah, I don't remember if I showed you guys this, but we built a playground for the kids, and actually, well, you talk about how well it worked.
Kept them busy.
Yep.
For a long time.
Yep.
The first part of this I guess this isn't even the first part of the obstacle course, is it?
No, the tire thing isn't in there. The bridge is right there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's not the first. That's not the beginning of it. You're missing part of it. Yeah.
But it was cool to keep the kids occupied and give them something to do. I'm going to try by the July event to build them a fort.
Doesn't this keep breaking down?
No.
Like the tire swing broke, the log broke.
Yeah. So
the swing broke.
Yeah. Prior to the event, I had a couple of those issues. One, on the tire swing, the bolts that I put through, the bolt wanted to work its way, the nut wanted to work its way loose as they're swinging and it's spinning. And so they play on it a little bit and it goes, no, I just need to put some Loctite on it, put it back in there, and it will be absolutely fine. Which will be cool. Juby Joe says, sweet it out. Oh, wow. Last minute playground. Yeah. Just while I had some spare time. Zeg says, what about the slip and slide? I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. Yes, I am. But anyway, this was cool. Again, I'm going to try to build them a fort, just something on four big pillars, something additional for them to play with when we get to the July event.
Well, just any event. I mean, we have people here all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's nice to just have a place that the kids can go and swing.
Yeah, because
or walk on the bridge.
Yeah, because we've had things go on at the community building since this event.
Right.
And
there's always kids around.
Yeah, always. All right. So I'm going to tell you guys a story. So we were absolutely 100% blessed with somebody brought and donated a sound system to the community center. Right. And it was, oh my gosh, was it loud. So they were, if you may guys remember, I don't know, most of you guys know, if you stand at the front of the community building and look down, there's a big pond down there. I would walk all the way down to the pond. That's a long ways away. And he'd crank that thing up and it sounded like a concert.
Yeah.
But it was super, super cool. And it's going to get put to amazing uses.
Yeah. I got a message that said, "This is awesome. Sounds like a concert."
Really?
Yes.
Can you share who sent the message?
That was you.
Oh, was that me? Oh, okay. You did that. Doggies also were welcome. Oh yeah, there's always dogs around now. When the more and more people that get there, the more we start tightening down on that stuff a little bit because dogs like to fight. So
and it's not uncommon for a dog to be running around or a goat to be running around.
Right.
I mean, our dogs are running around.
Or a chicken.
Yes, and then the turkey walks across because she's like, "I'm going to go get some food, but I have a nest over here. I'll be back."
Yeah. Brett Boyd says, "Happy birthday, Tag. Thank you very much. Had to be a good feeling to see your dreams come true on your birthday." Yeah, it was pretty cool. My dreams are gigantic and I have a lot of work to do, but it was great to take a step.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of in that direction.
That is a massive step though, buddy.
It's a big one. Yeah. Well, the evidence that the kids enjoyed it was the young man passed out.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go. Where's that? Man. You mean that one? Apparently the playground worked.
Yeah, he's not even sitting there. He's like leaning up against it.
Yeah, that was just one of the best pictures ever. Hey, Nurse Wayne, welcome in. All right. So a lot happened with music. Here's a beautiful picture of Mr. Mario. They were out there playing music and singing and laughing and joking. And
having a good old time.
It was a good old time. They set up all the system and all of that. And that guitar you see hanging on the wall that Mario was playing was also donated to the community building. So there's always a guitar for somebody to play. And what a beautiful.
Yeah, it's not a toy, not to be played with.
It's to be played.
Yes.
And I just think it was a beautiful gesture. And
Oh,
the hundreds of people that will play music on that guitar as time wears on, I think will be amazing. And it's just super touched by that. That's super, super cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love listening to him play it.
Yeah. Instigator says we need cowbells. Yeah. We don't have any cowbells.
No.
Cowbells are all gone. So Joel spent a bunch of his time early on, especially outside talking to people. And he was bouncing between, this guy I thought is going to wear out here one of these times, right? 'Cause you guys got to remember at this point, I've already had him up early, presentation at the school, presentation at the to the administrators, a tour of the facility, a tour of the bunker, a tour of the land.
Yeah.
Then we get him here, and now he's spending his time surrounded by people.
Another 80 people.
Yeah, chit chat.
They all want to talk to him.
Yeah, and they
including
all,
the kids.
want to talk to him. Yeah, when you build it and the kids come back and mom screams straight to the bath, it was built right. Yes, that's right, Brett. That's right, Brett for the win. Straight to the bath should be our goal for kids every single time. They come out. Met a lot of new people that I did not know. Built some really good relationships that I'll tell you guys about how they've already grown and fostered later on in the live tonight. Let's see here. Jimmy Joe says, love the music aspect for everyone to enjoy. Need a piano. I love the idea of music. I love listening to it. We're trying to work between on the July event to do a little more music, which again, I'll talk about here in a little bit. Let's see here. I saved this picture on purpose because we got blessed with the wonderful Tabletop Farms out of Missouri came down, and they actually supplied a lot of the greens.
Basically the side dishes.
Yep. came off their farm that was grown, not very far from here. Oh, look at this. Dude, Mario himself is in the house. Yeah.
Hello.
You guys rock. Welcome back. I'm glad your emergency call went great. All right. Well, I assume it went great. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to put a plug in here real quick because I just think it's that important. So,
Oh,
all right, here we go. Ready, babe? Got it,
I don't know what you're doing.
I know you don't. I know, but you know what the good news is? I do.
Thank you, Jesus.
So I wanted to share this, guys, with you. This is Tabletop Farms out of Missouri.
Yeah, I know this place.
Yeah. And B goes on here all the time and orders stuff from them. But
Not
guys,
all the time, but I
you
do. I like it.
Yeah. They do it right. And they do it the right way. They're great folks. They contribute. Like I said, all of the greens and, the side dishes, potatoes, all that stuff came through them right off of their farm, as you can see in the picture. But I just thought I would.
The potatoes came from a different farm, but we got them through her.
Yep.
But the turnips and.
Yep. They share their philosophy as healthy soil, healthy food, and healthy people, which I think is great. But if you guys kind of go through here, like you can see.
Can buy meat.
Oh, yeah. They'll ship it to you, right?
Oh.
Yeah, they will. Pigs, grass-fed beef, right? Look at all that. Vegetables. Yeah. Sauces, dressings.
Oh, yeah. Salad dressings.
Right.
They're good too. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
microgreens. They do a lot of that.
Jen rocks.
Herbs. I've gotten herbs from them.
Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys because you know what? If you are in the need to buy something like guys, I get nothing out of it. They're just great folks and they contribute and they're in the fight every single day and they're trying to do it the right way and they're trying to provide the right thing. And, we got to vote with our dollar and I'm going to take every opportunity I can to point out places you can vote with your dollar. And, that's absolutely
and help good people.
And help good people. Yeah. And they're exactly that. It was entirely too much fun. And, we had a great time with it.
Yes. And again, I want to thank all of you for all of your hard work.
Yep. Rosie, welcome in. Let's go back to that slide.
Yeah.
All right. So after Joel got done speaking at the school and then to the administrators and touring the bunker and touring the land, coming to my house, spending the first 2 hours sitting on a picnic table, talking to all of these different people that wanted to talk to him, I said, hey, Joel,
why don't you work?
Why don't you come in the community
working?
building and the community, some of the other homesteaders would like to ask you some questions and we can just have kind of a open discussion. And for the next hour and 20 minutes, he stood up there
answering questions,
which I will do a video. I've actually got it in my system already. The problem is that I'm trying to figure out whether to shrink it or not. It's an hour and 20 minutes long of him answering questions from homesteaders.
Can you hear it all? Because
most
if you can hear it all, I'd just put it out because
most of it.
You never know when one of those questions would help somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard because people are walking around with the camera. So you're getting different audio, but anyway, we will work to rectify that. But I just wanted to point out his grace to stand up there and answer all of these questions from all of these people about all of these different topics. And he is incredibly graceful. And, we were good friends before, but we're a lot better friends now. And I've gained a big level of respect to him because he's just a normal dude.
Yeah.
He's just a normal guy.
I guess I say of course he is, but not everybody you meet.
You know how many YouTubers I met who are
wonderful.
Jerks, who are arrogant, who are
Yeah.
not those things? Many.
Or posers.
Yeah. Or don't really do it and pretend. Many. And, to sit down and be able to go through this with him was just, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, what a blessing.
Hey, Tim Riley says, just put it out. Dana says, I would watch it all.
Oh, the video.
Yeah. And Jen says, she's talking about Tabletop here, said, I love their products. Chicken and beef are fantastic, and their greens are so good and clean. Zeg says, don't edit it. Even his side comments are full of wisdom. Yeah, they actually are. Yep, it is education. Nito said they'd watch the whole thing. Brett says you could two-part it. Yeah, I could. Yep, I absolutely could. And that might be a good idea so that people don't have to spend an hour and 20 minutes listening. But let's see here. See the tree support on the deck in your photo. Yeah, that's from outside the community building. Yeah, Skane says he was super down to earth. Yeah, yeah. Zeg just finished watching the video of the list. I'm all for the long form of Q&A. I'll listen to anything that Joel wants to say. Well, Pack Rat, boy, do I have some videos for you, because I have the tour of the bunker, the tour of the land, the community, this visit, which represented an hour and 20 minutes, but there was another 7 hours he was at the community building hanging out with us that's also there that I have to work my way and weed through. I spent about 10 hours this week weeding through it, which is the 2 videos that came out. And we'll just have to see how much time I get, you know. Joel's a great conversation, especially the ones when the cameras aren't rolling and he's completely unfiltered. Yeah, you know, one of them, Tim, that I really enjoy that I'll post at some point is I have a video of him and I driving from the school back to the community building, about a 30-minute drive. And we videotaped his and I's conversation. And
somebody with you?
Yeah. And it was really cool. And so I need to go through and put it all together. But
yeah, I'd like to watch that.
Yeah. Brett says, I've been following Joel for many years. He's salt of the earth. Yeah. You all get to do a property walk. We did none of my property. The only property walk was the schools, and we would have loved to have had it, but there was too many people and too much going on to do that. If you have an online Dropbox, outsource some of the editing to the community. I would love to find someone who likes to edit video, because let me tell you, it is, and you can ask B, the day, like Fridays particularly, and a lot of times Mondays, I'm here all day trying to get videos out, trying to get the lives ready, trying to, you know, upload all these pictures, weed through all the pictures, find all of the pictures, you know, all of those kind of things. Zeg says, turn it into a mini series, the life and time of Joe Salatin in Kansas. Yeah.
A mini series.
Yeah, I did create a new playlist on my YouTube channel that I'm going to dump all of this event into, all the different Joel things, and let them run. So you could just put loop on them, and they'll just run through them all in order. But that's a good
idea.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right. Well, the Joel event is over, right?
Yep.
And we're moving on. The next event here will be on July the 5th, the Freedom Fest. We're going to have music. Now, there's some debate here. We're looking to hire a band. We have not successfully accomplished this goal yet.
I said we should do karaoke.
B says we should just do karaoke,
and then we have the sound system. We could just play music.
And we could play music. We have been asked to build a gigantic slip and slide. And this is exactly what it will look like. Probably.
I don't think we should do it like that, like dig it into the earth.
Well, you're going to have to put embankments up, babe, or people will slide off of it. You got to keep them on, you know, try to keep it on, so we'll figure it out. But this is to come.
What's up with the hamburger?
Well, we're going to grill hamburgers, aren't we?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And we're going to have fireworks, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Right. I just Google searched some pictures and threw them on her. So we could kind of talk about it. Yeah. So one of the ideas, guys, was to do some homestead games. And what type of adult games would you play that would be homesteading? And you have any ideas, like an example?
Oh, like carry the egg?
I don't know that that's really homesteading. I was more thinking like, who could butcher the chicken the fastest?
Oh my gosh, you're talking about a long game.
I do that long. Chicken.
Yeah, but that's a long game. So then you got to get the plucker out. You got to get all this. Oh, you're talking about they have to pluck it. They have to pluck it. They have to clean it. So that's like a 30-minute job.
Yeah, but that would be fun. Chopping the wood, maybe. Just all the chores that we do. And all the things that we do.
The fastest person to chop this wood.
Yeah, or whatever. Get some hand saws out. I don't know. Maybe build a shelter or start a fire or. Just whatever. But anyway, guys, I am leaning on you in the audience tonight. I'm leaning on you to help me come up with ideas for homesteading games that can be played on the 5th of July at the Freedom Fest.
That's a good idea.
All right, let me get back up here. I missed a bunch, so let's get some comments here. I'm pissed Joel wasn't coming. Oh, Commish AG, he would have brought back common sense to ag. I agree. How'd you get a picture of Mario and Bibbs? Yeah, I actually thought that was Hitch, but I can see some Mario in there. Hey, my good buddy Indiana Mike's in the house. Says ahoy, we're running way behind. Starting from the beginning, catch up with you all in a few. Yeah, well, when you get this far, What's going on, buddy?
Howdy.
Yeah, this is absolutely an amazing live that curtailed your creativity and hard work to achieve this dream and event. It's been so much fun and exhausting. This festival on July the 5th, guys, is about having fun. It's not about work, right? This is a festival to celebrate our freedom, and it will be a blast. Let's see here. Pack Rat says burgers, mud, fireworks, concert. Yeah, something like that. Ice cream. Fastest way to skin a rabbit. There you go. Build something. Let's see here. I remember doing old style games once: tobacco spitting, cow tipping toss, and egg toss.
No cow tipping.
Yeah, B ain't letting nobody near her cow.
Cow chip toss.
Yeah, pass.
The cow chip toss.
Oh, that would be fun. Well, I'm not doing it.
That's a poo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a poo. Yeah.
I don't want to toss the poo.
Pass
Chip toss.
Pass the water cup. Pass the water from cup to cup in a relay. Pack Rat says, how about we try outrun the bull? That's bad. That's all bad.
Yeah.
That's all bad. Zeg says, for the kids, catch a greased pig. Dude, that would be great. I did that when I was young. We need to consider this. Put a little fence up, get a little pig, and grease him all up and let the kids try to catch him. This is a great idea. Zeg, great idea. Let's see here. I use aloe and a little pure shea butter on sunburns to keep from blistering or peeling. Psalms 125, welcome in.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's see here. I saw Joel at the Small Farm Today magazine Treso in Columbia, Missouri. Dude, that guy is a traveler. I don't know how he does it. Oh, there you go. Tim Riley says fastest person to set a T-post. I'd totally win that.
Ooh.
I would win that. That'd be me. Yeah. Rick says pitchfork toss, egg toss, and archery. Well, we have a hatchet throwing thing. We could certainly set up some archery targets. Oh, Skanes Girl says log rolling on the pond.
Oh, man.
Like lumberjacks?
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Kill the fatted steers and do hamburgers. B had 3 in the pictures. Laugh out loud. Brett, you're flirting with danger right there.
Nope.
Those cows aren't cows. Those cows are pets.
Nope. I'm not sure.
Hippocrates says fresh sausage casing cleaning. Gross.
Yeah, there you go. The bucket.
Mario says, I'd say we do the redneck Olympics with whale bill races, potato races, mud pits, and tug of war.
Tug of war. You could use that pit to tug of war over.
Yeah. Oh, whale bill races. He meant wheelbarrow races.
Oh.
Yeah. That makes a little more sense. Yeah. Tim says, how about a 50-pound sack of feed relay race? You do good at that. You carry a lot of them.
Yeah, but I don't want to race. I don't want to race with it.
3-legged race with feed bags or tied together with long grass. So many good comments. Yeah. No, piggies. We're not going to hurt the piggies. We're just going to cover them in grease and chase them.
I don't like that, though.
Yeah. Tim says wet mulch wheelbarrow race. Teach the kids how to snipe hunt. This is a great idea. Let's see here. Nito said, my youngest sister and I were hard to beat in an egg toss when we were teens. Oh, the memories. Dana Green says 3-legged race. Jesus says bobbing for apples or something else, glory and in season. Yeah, I love the bobbing for apples thing. Farmers carry full milk cans. Yeah, guys, keep these ideas coming because this is going to be super, super fun. And I can't wait to do it. I love the idea of the Redneck Olympics. I'll even make a trophy. Like I'll take a piece of wood and I'll carve the most redneck trophy ever. Be like a badge of honor. Maybe do a little one and tell them they have to put it on their dash till the next one.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah. Let's see. Conservative Friends, welcome in. Says, I brought a late slip teacher. Just got back from celebrating our anniversary. Well, happy anniversary. I'm stuffed from filet mignon, Maryland crab cake, and baked potato. Oh, that sounds good. Yep. Leela says log splitting contest. I like that one too. I know who would win that one, and it wouldn't be me. Yeah. Jesus says hot dog eating contest. Well, we talked about maybe doing a pie eating contest out of homemade pies, right? Because this time of
maybe
year.
not the pie eating, but it was a pie walk.
I heard pie eating. I didn't hear anything about a pie walk.
A pie walk. So you bring a pie, you take with pie. You
Yep.
eat with a pie.
Jen says then the redneck trophy gets passed around each year. See, I like this idea.
Yeah.
And it's got to be really, really rednecky, like considerably rednecky. You need to make something like the Stanley Cup. We can all kiss when we win and hand down to the next team next year. I love that.
What is Stanley Cup?
Yeah. Hey, I got it. Do a grease pig catch after 8. Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. Then they couldn't see it. Yeah. Skanes Girl says a watermelon eating contest.
Mm.
Yeah. And then we got, I like the pie idea. Pig calling contest. Cheesecake eating contest. You guys rock. Yeah, super, super cool. I'm looking forward to it. And I have, oh, wait, hold on. Ripe tomato tossed archery target or potatoes through something like a vertical cornhole board. How about a contest like they have at the fair with preserved and canned goods? I love this.
Oh.
You need to do a mutton busting for the little kids. It is a hit at every rodeo. I 100% agree. And Hypocrisy says arm splinting. Because of the slip and slide and the redneck games. The good news is we will have medical on staff.
Hopefully.
Mario said, let's have a face slapping contest. I would totally win that. I would totally win that.
I'm not playing.
Gaines Girl says arm wrestling, and Mario says, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty remarkable. All right, let's keep trucking. Better because I got a lot left.
Yeah, we don't.
Final, I wanted to let you guys know the July 5th event. We will be joined by Jim Gale from Food Forest Abundance. We're going to talk about food freedom in the future. He's going to come down, probably tour our food forest, right? You excited about that?
I don't know.
You need to be. And if not, you need to go be excited about it. And then he'll just hang out with us and answer questions about food forests and, the circle of life. I know Jim very well, a good friend of mine. He sits on the same board that Joel and I are on. He's got a place down in St. Cloud, Florida called Gulch Landing. I've been down there. I've spoken at his events, which is why he's coming, right, to return the favor of speaking at an event. And so this will also be exciting for us. So all of you foodies, all you people who want to grow your own food and want to companion plant and want to do all of those things.
Food forest.
Yep, I'll be all about food forest. So
yeah,
that will be pretty cool, I think. Let's see here.
A little nervous.
Yeah, Juby Joe says no animals will be allowed to be used for entertainment per bee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except we use the kids for entertainment.
We're not going to greet them and chase them until they're scared.
That would be fun.
No, that'll be ridiculous.
Yeah, Packrat says we can bring our bureaucrat of choice. Well, speaking of bureaucrats, so you guys know, we had our state representative at the Joel meeting at our community building, and him and Joel got to have a lot of conversations, and we have then now received confirmation back that he would like to have an additional conversation about how he can better help the things that we're doing.
Wonderful.
Yep. So
holy cow, what a blessing.
Yep. That was super cool. Jesus says for single people, a cake auction to fundraiser for something that really the old way of matchmaking. I love all that. Horseshoes. Did we say capture the flag? We could play a paintball game.
You're not going to shoot people with paintball.
Oh, I would. And it would be great.
Yeah, you're not going to. That's an unfair advantage, buddy.
Nah, no such thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we get done with that. Check this out. So I was blessed to be able to go help a buddy of mine. And they have been living without running water for 2 years as they got the structures up and the barns up and the fences up and the paddocks up and took care of the stalls and all the animals and all that stuff. And me and a couple of the guys, Mario, went over there and spent time getting all of that plumbing in. And this is the beautiful Lou in her
brand new tub.
Yeah, but then the next one I want to show you, there's the man right there.
Oh no! Why are you in there with him?
Yeah, that is the king himself, Jeff Gypsy Hefty Lefty Amazon Mud Dauber Slick in the house in his tub. We didn't end up getting the tub, the entire surround in, all the plumbing, the hot water ran. Had a couple leaks we had to track down, got them finished today. And as the beautiful Miss Wesley said earlier in the live, they have running water and they have hot water, and it's an incredible blessing. So this is great. And this picture right here is definitely one of them that needs to go in the slideshow on the TV at the community.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely has to. Mario says, sexy beast meets Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean.
How wonderful.
No.
I know, poor guy.
Sorry, Jeff.
No, now come on.
I mean, he did pose.
He
there
knows
for
me. He did pose in the tub
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me. He posed for you.
Mario says he looks like Sean Connery and Mr. Clean had a baby. Oh my goodness. I love the community. We have so much fun. It is just way too cool. So anyway, this was a great thing that happened to us. Why don't you tell them about what else happened, baby? At the same time.
We had 2 babies. What, like a week apart?
Yep.
Lady, the red cow, had her baby first. And when we found the baby, he was dry. So it had probably been the night before. But Moo, the black cow, she had her baby, and
This morning.
it was this morning. So when I found her, he was still wet. He was wet, and he had kind of crusties on his thigh.
Do you think it's a he?
I think both of them are boys. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lou came over at first and was like, here's where you would find testicles if there were any. And so we're like, oh, is it a girl? Is it a girl? Is it a girl? Is it a girl? She's like, well, I can't really tell. And then, I was like, well, why don't we just look for the other part? And it wasn't there. So it's obviously a boy. And then the other one today, she would not let me get near the baby.
Mm-hmm.
She was like,
yeah, Moo's much more protective.
yes. But I was able to go over and lift his tail. He's a boy too.
Yep. So the good news is this secures our meat source in 2026 and 7, right?
Oh, look at that. It's all draped across her. That's her innards.
It's not her innards.
Yeah. Her afterwards.
Yeah, let's see here. Aunt B saw your blue gloves.
Oh, on the ground over here.
Oh, yeah, probably threw them on the ground.
Yeah, well, I was going to do chores, and then I'm just like, do. Whoa, there's the baby.
Yep.
And it thought it was Moo's baby, but Lady was next to her, so was next to the baby. So I.
Dana Green says, "Oh my God, I have a 70-pound pit bull piece of Velcro on my lap." Give him a big kiss. Guys, this is really, really big for us. We were hoping that we would get a heifer out of the deal, but what the world is telling us is that, what we need to do is secure our food source, and there's no better way to store food for all you preppers out there. There's no better way to store it than on the hoof. There just isn't. And so we'll grow both these little guys, and we will give them the absolute best life we can give them for the years that they're here. We will grow them and treat them well and love them and give them treats and scratch them behind the ears right up until the time I take their life to feed us. And it will be a great trade, and life will be good. So we'll raise them, and we'll kind of see what happens from there. But we have what started the week with 3 cows has now gone through everything else. And now we have 5 cows. So
surprise.
Yeah. Pete Squatchy said bull calf for us this last week. Yep. You sent me a picture of that, and beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We are definitely excited about having them. See, your pack rat says requires less refrigeration when they are nosing at your pasture. 100%. Jesus says, got an incubator for eggs for my birthday. Don't even have chickens yet. Yep, well, here's the good news. You got an incubator, which means you can have chickens, right? Hippocrates says Bert and Andy.
Bert and Andy?
Yeah, he meant Ernie. Yeah, I don't know what their names are yet. We haven't gotten that far. We really haven't slowed down enough to deal with it.
Yeah.
But we will. I've been out and petted them a couple times and loved on them a couple times, and it's good. We're super happy to have them, and they seem to like to hang out down in the woods and eat and do their thing. But both seem to be plenty healthy. They're both running around. And what's cool is they were born within a week of each other, so they're going to be best of friends. And here in a couple weeks, they'll be running and jumping and farting and twisting and twirling and running through the pasture. And just absolutely a beautiful
Having a
thing.
grand old time.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see here. Yep. And since they all come from China, it seemed like a good timing. 100%. Zeg says name them
Right.
Meat and Tallow.
Oh, Tallow.
I actually like the name Tallow. I like that. Anyway, so that's been exciting, right?
That's very exciting.
This is a picture of Silver Lining with the first one. This is Lady's baby. And super friendly, petting them, loving them.
Oh, yeah, they were. He's just fine with us going right up to him.
Leela said, I had Mayberry on my mind. I like Andy and Barney.
Oh, Barney.
Yep. Now this next picture is not a very there you go. T-Bone and Tallow. Now that I like. I like that. T-Bone and Tallow. This next picture is not a very clear picture, but I just love the picture. I wanted to share it with you guys. So this is Mario carrying that baby, trying to get him out of he was kind of in back behind into the woods and needed to go to Mama. Mama wanted him, and she didn't like the idea that he was picking her up, but she put up with it.
Yeah, she was okay with it.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything aggressive, I don't think. She was just mooing. She was just like, hey, my baby, I need him.
Yeah. Yeah. Squatchy said we named ours 90-10.
And they're actually a lot heavier than they look.
A lot better than 80-20. Yes, they are heavier than they look. So then guess what happens? Well, one of the new people that came to the event with Joel was the lady that is in charge of the EPA endeavors for the Indian tribe that's not far from me. And she had a great time. And so after the event was over, she contacted me and she said, hey, will you come speak to the tribe about sustainability? And can you do it on Monday? And I looked at my calendar. I said, yeah, I got nothing going on Monday. So me and Jess from American Roots went to the tribe and got up there and just talked a little bit about what we do. And it was interesting because they had several speakers there. The first one was a lady who's from K-State University who specialized in wild, edible, and medicinal plants. And so she gave a presentation, and then another guy came up and gave a presentation about dealing with pests, whether it be gophers or whatever it is, right? And I got up to talk to them, and I just had to remind everybody that if they didn't have pests, they wouldn't have an ecosystem. And kind of began my conversation like that. We got done talking about it, and as you guys can see in the flyer right there, they said there was going to be a plant giveaway. So they give me not 3/4 of a truckload, like 8 or 9 flats of plants, and we bring them home, and this is what they look like. And we thought to ourselves, hey, this will be great. We can put a message out to the community, and anybody that needs plants can come get plants, and this will help everybody in their gardens. And we're like, hey, this is really a great deal, and we get to bless people. Well, then I got a phone call that said, hey, we had a conversation and we would like to donate the balance of the greenhouses to your community. If you're interested, come get them. So me and B drove and we got them.
We did 5 trips.
Took 5 trips in the truck to get it all, but we got it all. And we piloted it outside of the community building. And this was on Monday, right? Monday?
I don't know.
No, I spoke on Monday. It was on Wednesday. So Wednesday this week, 2 days ago.
Yes, that seems right.
Yeah. And so we got them and we lined them all up. We sent messages to everybody and said, hey, come and, get these. I didn't pay anything for them. They want to bless our community. Come be blessed by them. And I'm really beginning to build a relationship with the reservation. And, they're just getting ready to build a new sustainability food program. And so I'm hoping I can help them and play a role in that. And we'll just kind of see how it goes. But it's interesting how these things happen. And guys, it's not by mistake, and it's not by chance, and it's not by luck. If you spend your time not worrying about what's in it for you, and you spend your time chasing the cause and just trying to spread freedom and trying to be a good man and trying to be a good husband or a good wife and a good friend, and you put your attention there and you let all of those preconceived notions go and you just go chase the cause, good things happen to you. And this is a great example of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And bless many, 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 many people. And it's amazing,
Yes.
Let's see here. Parker says, all these activities aren't helping. I'm still stuck here, unable to travel. I've missed out on so much in the last 3.5 years. Yeah, well, hopefully soon you'll be able to, because we do a lot. And it seems like it's picking up. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? I bumped it. So anyway, this was super, super cool. And I know it went to a lot of great places. And I wrote the lady back and told her she was an angel. And, that it will go to good places. And, the funny thing about homesteaders, it's very hard to say no to plants.
Right.
I mean, even if you have them all in, which a large percentage of our community would have had theirs in, or be putting them in, or be already had their plans worked out for the year.
Yeah.
But, this kind of changes it all. Skins Girl says Potawatomi or Kickapoo. It was Potawatomi. Jesus said, I have walking onions going road. I need to find someone who wants some. Yeah, we would. This community will always take plants because they'll find some place for them to go, somewhere, sometime, someplace. But wasn't this cool?
It was just amazing to see all of the plants, first of all, just to be able to go to the greenhouse and see how many they had. And then and I said, why are you giving all of these away? And she's like, well, we've been giving them away. That was the whole purpose of it. They had that, whatever the meeting was, that was the purpose. They were growing these to give at this event and to get their community to take a role in their food. And so when their event was over, they just had extra. So it was just some of this and some of that and some of these. And she didn't know what was going to be wanted. So you just do a lot. And there was a lot.
But I think, again, it comes down to the same thing. If you spread goodwill,
yes,
which the only way you can spread goodwill is you have to get rid of your past. You have to get rid of those things that cause those walls to be thrown up.
It's so easy to fall back into
of course it
habits,
is.
though.
But babe, that's why two people can do it.
Right.
I mean, this is why.
No, it's easy.
Yeah, this is why
it's easy to stay in what you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and none of us are perfect, guys. I'm not perfect. I'm not always positive and motivated.
Positive.
Are you always positive?
No, I'm rarely positive.
That's not true. That's not true.
No, I actually had just today, you were like, I was trying to help out with the school. They had an event there, so I was trying to help there. And then the cow being born, I was just supposed to be there at one time. And then I was running late and I'm like, wait, what is going on? And so I get out of the car and I run through the field with my white shoes on. And I'm like, that's a cow. I've got to go, investigate, make sure it's okay. I got to spend the next 20 minutes when I should be leaving to make sure everything's okay. Because if I leave and it's not okay, then I will have been kicking myself. So I had to figure out that and then go to the school. And then I realized after I get home from the school that I left laundry in the washing machine 2 days ago. And I don't do that. So my brain was obviously not where it should be, but that you open it up and you're like, oh no. So throw it, soap, everything back in, got to rewash it because you can't smell like that. And it, and then dinner, we went to bed without dinner like one night. And then the second night I fed him at like 9:00 at night or something like that. I'm like, well, here's a brat, buddy. Shove that in your mouth, shove that in your pie hole, and let's go to bed. I'm like, he's like, well, at least I got something to eat. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So today I'm like, okay, gotta cook him dinner. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, the laundry. And then I'm like, oh no, the plants. I forgot to open up the greenhouse before I left. And then I get back and then they're all wilted. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, all this work. And then I'm letting people down and I'm letting people down and I'm letting people down. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just put a smile on my face and I'm just like, I'm just going to keep going because I can't control the fact that there's a lot to do. There's always a lot to do. And if I don't feed my husband dinner, if I don't feed myself dinner, how much more of this can I do? If I'm getting up early and I'm going to bed late and I'm not eating dinner, I'm not just drinking coffee. Yes, I started drinking coffee all of a sudden, almost 50 years old. I'm like, let me drink some coffee because I can't keep up with this place. No,
How much coffee have you had tonight?
I actually drank a little bit and then I went to the school. And then when I came back, I thought, it's hot enough outside. I'm going to still drink that. And then there was a fly in it. And I'm like, not going to drink that either. But I got me a cup of water and there's no flies in it. I actually thought that there was a floater in it. I was like, oh, man. There was a floater in my water at the school. I was like, okay, if I swirl it to the left and I take a quick drink. It's been a day.
That's
I tell you.
Remember, guys, B's advice: swirl it to the left and take a drink. This is B's sage advice: just swirl it to the left, take a drink.
Oh my gosh! Do you see the bruise on my forehead?
Hot cars again?
No, I was pushing the brooder into the house and the wind caught the lid. Oh, my eyes are watering. The lid smacked me in the face. And I have a bruise on my forehead. It has been an adventure.
Rick seems to think that you need to start writing to-do lists.
I don't want a to-do list. I already have enough to do. I don't need to be reminded, husband. If you don't get those plants out of the greenhouse, they're going to be bad. Thank you. If I don't get any socks, I'm going to start wearing yours. Go ahead. If I don't get dinner, I'm going to eat your shoe. I got another one. I'm just going to keep going with a smile. Oh my gosh.
Juby Joe says, I've got laundry, B, and I'm thinking about throwing it away.
I'll get you some more.
Oh my goodness. Nicole, who was there with you, has the saying, let the low end drag. Do what you can. Do what you can. Some balls you are juggling are made of glass, some of plastic. Know which ones you can drop.
Lovely.
Jesus says, gnats, I dip out. Flies, I toss it. That's the farm life right there. Gnats, acceptable. Flies, it's out of here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Our standards are changing every day.
Laugh out loud. Be my dad used to call me Grace when I did stuff like that. Oh my goodness. RN says I make to-do lists, but I lose them. Yep. Yeah. Backrat says you have my wife cracking up. Well, I know you guys know that's how it is. It's how it is. It's a constant race.
It is.
And with all of this stuff going on, like B was just talking about, all this craziness and Joel and the school and the festival
people.
and 2 cows, 96 people at the farm. I am in her ear saying, you better get those plants out of the greenhouse because they're going to die. And the food forest needs watered, or the weeds need pulled, or whatever it is.
The side of the house has some trumpet vines in it that are knee high already, and he's like, "Are we growing those now?" I am for now.
Yeah. So I thought I'd share some pictures from the food forest.
Oh no! Oh no!
What's that, babe?
Horseradish.
Yep.
Some of it.
Yep. So that's going pretty good.
I don't know what that yellow stuff is in the background. Don't look at that.
Oh, that's the stuff that hasn't been cut back, babe.
Obviously.
Right. What does Jess call me? Rocket scientist?
Captain
Obvious. Yes. Yep. So that needs to be done, but they're going good. Oops. What?
No,
Sorry.
thank you, Jesus.
I was going
the
the other
rest
way.
of the slide is empty.
It's not snowing. How about those?
Those are elderberries, and they're coming along just fine. Thank you.
They look
They are
beautiful.
not ready for anything to be done with them. They're right on top of it.
Jen says, do I need to come back?
Yes. Yes, please.
Do you prefer gnats or flies? Yeah, Nito says, sometimes I feel like I need to hire a helper. Yes.
Oh, wouldn't that be
Yes,
nice?
yes. All right. What's that, babe? It's a big old peach tree, huh? Her trees have really begun to take off. I've got a picture of a pear tree in here that's pretty beautiful too.
Man, that's elderberry next to it.
Yep. Look right.
Oh, they're
There.
everywhere in there.
Another one right there.
Yeah.
Pears. Oh, the pears have started growing on the pear tree, which is pretty cool. I love all the green. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, Jen
Wait,
pointed out
wrong
to
one.
me. She was like, hey, you got fruit on this tree.
This picture cracked me up. You know why? There's something in this picture that just makes me laugh. Not laugh in a bad way, but it just cracks me up.
All that dead grass back there.
No, that just needs to be taken care of.
Huh.
You look at all this comfrey,
Yeah.
and growing out of the middle of it is a Wolf River apple tree, that little baby apple tree,
Yeah.
completely covered in comfrey. That tree will grow well there.
It should be.
Yeah.
It should be just fine. It looks like it has leaves, so it looks also like it does not need my attention. Thank you, Jesus.
You know what? Isn't that cool how you can be observant and look at all of the things that don't need your attention?
Yes.
How beautiful is
I
that?
love it.
Right. So you should easily get the rest of it done.
Keep up the good work, guys.
I would just like to be cloned like Multiplicity.
That's that movie from.
Yeah. Yeah, I always
The
look at my
80s.
yard and think, I know there's a salad out there somewhere. Yeah, before I mow. Yes,
There
there
probably
is.
is.
Yep.
Like realistically.
Those are elderberries, right?
Yeah.
These are all in Bee's food forest, and everything's just growing and exploding, and it's going to be absolutely great.
Those actually have started to grow beyond the swell.
Mm.
So I kind of need to.
Push them back a little bit or transplant them. Well, you've got enough elderberry in there now. You could start taking them and putting them in the woods. Right, you have enough stock in here. I really consider this food forest, guys, the nursery, really, where we can pull from, because we would love to spread many of these plants all the way through our woods. We have a lot of woods, and just keep planting and keep planting and keep planting and create the ultimate
And then
food
grace
forest.
others too.
Then grace others too. Yep, which would be super cool. What are those, baby?
I have no idea.
Potatoes.
Those are potatoes. What other? So I just need to put more. So I had hay on them, so they've grown beyond the
Yeah,
hay.
they've
is
grown.
what-
Yep.
I have
RN
no idea.
wants to know what you use for fertilizer for your trees and plants.
Comfrey.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I build the swells out of manure, and that usually,
They're
five,
old, though.
5 to 7 to
12.
10-year-old manure, and then we cover it in mulch. And any of the hay that gets baled that we don't feed to the cows during the winter becomes mulch, and we roll it back on and put that, those minerals and those things right back into our land. But we don't spray anything, nothing. Oh yeah, I like that. Tim says that's a food 401k.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes, it is. Let's see here. And then you started in the annual garden, right?
Yes.
What do you got
We did
planted in these
peppers
rows?
here. Oh, the tomatoes are on the arch. I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we did tomatoes
that's-
and then we did peppers.
And
Tomatoes.
Yep.
Tomatoes and tomatoes. I want to go up and count them too, because I'm not sure how many I planted. I didn't plant them. I dug holes. I was like trying to stay ahead of them. I had friends come and help. And so I was like, how do we do this? And there's two sides. So I was like, well, if I stay ahead of them and dig holes, then they could just drop them in, cover, drop them in, cover, drop them in, thinking that, that would go faster. So I'd be like, okay, 4 here, 4 there, 4 here, 4 here, 5 here, 4 here, 5 here, 4 here, trying to keep up with just staying ahead of them. One was on one side and one was on the other. So it took us, I think, 2-3 hours, and we planted both rows inside of that and outside of that, the whole.
way.
Yeah. And I think that's 60 feet, that bed.
Okay.
Does it look about 60
Yeah,
feet?
so you've got 240 feet of tomatoes.
About.
Not about. That's 60 times 4. But Juby Joe says, walked into my laundry room. I want to purge and notice I'm growing potatoes.
Throw them in the yard. Bury them. Grow more.
Yeah. Hippocrates says, send me a soil sample if you want to see what's under the microscope. I'd be happy to do that. Hippocrates, send me an email. But we just had how many spots? 30. When we had all the soil tests done, how many spots did we dig up?
We did 15 times 5, right? Did we do? It
So it's
12.
75 spots. 15 times 5, 75.
Why don't we did between? That was about that. That's
Yeah.
what we were going for.
We had 75 different locations tested around our farm less than a year ago. Let's see here.
Mhm. Oh,
Borage,
right.
basil, and marigold.
Sorry, yes. I was digging holes. Yes, but the tomatoes, they also did the companion plants with them. So the basil, borage, marigolds. We also did cilantro, I think. And then in the peppers, we did cilantro over there too.
And you also did broccoli.
That was before the broccoli, the cabbage, and cauliflower.
Mhm.
Cilantro's over there too. We've kind of got cilantro,
All over the place.
kind of, yeah. I mean, the more the merrier. Yeah. Tomatoes, we did the beefsteak, we did the Amish paste, we did the Juliet, we did the chicken run tomatoes were gifted from Jen. So they were ones she had grown, and then she gifted me the seeds, and then we grew them.
Mhm.
The others, the Amish paste, the beefsteak, those were from last year, and then the year before. Those were the ones from Buffalo Seed Company that I have been growing
And harvesting.
for a few years now. And the chicken run tomatoes were ones that were growing in her chicken run. So she called them chicken run tomatoes. And that's what we planted this year. You get a chicken run tomato
With some bees nuts.
with some bees nuts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brett says, is that a 15-foot cow panel? If so, how wide? So it's a 4-foot wide, 16-foot long panel, and I stake it in the ground 8 feet apart.
And I am actually supposed to go in and tie the.
Yeah, she hasn't tied this.
I
one all the
haven't
way
tied
up.
it down. It's
Yeah.
not moving.
Yeah, well, she should be taking to the side of the arch that's closest to us, to B and I. She should be pulling that over to those panels, and like I did the other side, and tighten them down, which will lower the ceiling just a little bit. But they're tall enough that I can walk through them and harvest all year, and I would never grow it different. This is how we will grow.
Actually, Jen said that I should probably if I lifted those up a foot, it will allow circulation underneath, but it will also allow height on the
roof. But the problem is
Yeah.
they're done, it's anchored as good there, which means you're more subject to issues. But not suggesting we can't do that. Yeah. Rick says potatoes equal vodka. Cilantro loved. I planted a tiny amount of slips that I had tonight, hoping for rain. Yeah, those Amish paste are the best I've ever seen. Absolutely a wonderful seed and a great harvest. Yeah. And those again come from the Buffalo Seed Company. You can look them up at thebuffaloseedcompany.com, and they sell adapted seeds to, the Midwest. And most of our seeds have come from there. Not all. Yeah. Terminator says, good night. All my internet is in and out. So frustrating. Well, I'm sorry. Good night to you, Terminator. Let's see here. I'm almost out of slides. Well, that's good because I'm almost out of time.
Oh
That's
my
pretty cool.
goodness.
What's going on here, babe?
This is a greenhouse.
This is after everything she planted.
I'm trying to purge. I'm trying. I might have a problem
You think?
with green things in the greenhouse.
What about
I don't want to get rid of them.
all that?
So I even tried to put a shade cloth over it to see if I could extend the life of the plants and as it's 80 outside, it's 100 and something in the greenhouse. So I'm trying to open the windows and put the shade over it until I can get to it. I'm getting to it, but it's just not as fast as I had hoped.
Yeah, and there's the link for the Buffalo Seed Company. We've done a lot of business with them. I get nothing out of it. I don't care who you buy it from, but we love them. They do great.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a link for them right there on the screen and in the chat. And I think that is all she wrote, folks, as far as the slides go. So as it is an hour and 58 minutes and 57 seconds, we got a minute to go. What do you want to talk about before we leave tonight?
Attitude.
Okay, what about it?
The smile on your face and get through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we were not put on this earth at this time for nothing. There's a reason why we were born in this time. And
there's a reason why you're here.
There's a reason why we're here. And at the end of the day, if we just take all of the preconceived stuff and all that program that's gone on all of our lives.
It is programmed.
It is programmed.
All of it is baloney
Yeah.
too.
Get rid of all of it. And you know what? Just go for it. Put everything you got out there and go for it. You know, I can't tell you guys how thankful I am for all the nice comments about look at all that great work you guys are doing and, you know, all of those things. But I'm going to tell you guys something. If you don't help me, I will fail. Because this can't just go on in Kansas. This can't just go on in these places. This has to go on everywhere if we're going to make real change. But we can't make any of those change if we're caught up behind these giant walls of self-doubt or these giant walls of insecurities or these giant
tally
walls
marks.
of guilt or these giant walls of anger or these giant walls of whatever it is. Put it all behind you, pin your ears back and go for it. What's the worst going to happen? You're going to be right where you're at. I can be out. See you guys. Say good night.
Good night. Be out.